In this lecture, I'm going to cover the different backup settings you need to know in FL Studio. So it's very important to back up your projects and all of your audio files and different stuff that you create in FL Studio. This is very important because sometimes FL Studio can crash, you never actually know when this is going to happen. So it's very, very useful to have backups all of the time. And I'm going to cover different steps here to create these backups and how to make your life easier when this is happening. So first, we're going to take a look at the project data folder. So if you set up this project data folder inside of FL Studio, this will copy all of the different files, audio files, and let's say that you recorded different audio files as well. All of this is going to be stored in a location, in a folder that you're going to set. If you're not doing this, then everything is stored at the default location or the source location where you took the samples from. So let's say that we're using samples inside of this project here. I'm using the kick drum and the hats. And if I'm not creating this project data folder, then if I move some of the source files from, let's say, their original location, and let's say that I move them from the original location to somewhere else, or delete them or something, then if I open up this FL Studio project, all of the different audio files that I moved is going to be corrupt. So I can't access them and FL Studio is not going to play them. And you can solve this by creating the project data folder. So how do you do this? You go to options and then just choose one of these options here. So we're going for MIDI settings. Then you go to the project tab here and you can see data folder. Now we can create a data folder. So it's set at auto. So this is going to leave the audio files at their source location, but we want to set this data folder. So let's go to the folder. Here's my file structure of my computer. So I can just create a new folder for this project, name it, and then just press open here. And it may look different on your computer if you're on a Windows computer, but I'm on a Mac here, so it should look something like this. So let's name this my first project, like that. Now let's just hit open. And it's going to prompt you if you would like to save the current project in this folder. And this is very smart to do because then you're going to have all of your files inside of this folder and you're going to stay organized. Instead of having the project file somewhere else and then you're having all of your audio files somewhere else, you just want to hit yes on this one. And if you're hitting yes here, you'll see this new dialog here where you can save your project file inside of this folder here. So it's already set on this folder. So let's just name it as the same as my folder here, and let's just create save. And now everything is saved inside of this folder. Next thing I want to talk about is how to export the different tracks to stems. And this is very important to do because first of all, you can share this project file with other producers that doesn't use FL Studio as their own digital audio workstation. So let's say that they're using Ableton or Logic, for instance. Then if you're exporting all of your stems as audio files, then they can just import them as audio inside of their digital audio workstation. And there are some other different positive things when doing this, when exporting to audio files. And this is because you can take all of these files and just putting them in a folder, for instance. And when you have that in your folder, all of the audio files, then you can just put it on an external hard drive, or even better, you can put it on an online backup, which I will show you in the next video how to do that. I have a method of creating an online backup automatically. It's very, very cheap to do so, and it will actually help your life a lot. I will show you in the video. I think you will love the solution that I have for it. And it will save you a ton of time when, let's say, your project is actually crashed and you haven't saved it. And yeah, so I will show you how to do it. First, let's create audio stems. So let's go to File, Export. And then you just choose if you want a WAV file, MP3 file. So let's say that we want WAV files here. So let's go with Save. And now if you go to Miscellaneous here, you can choose split mixer tracks. So now every single track here will be exported as one audio file. And you can set if you want it to be in WAV, MP3, or other output formats. Later on in this course, I will also show you what the best export settings are for exporting all of these audio files. So you'll see what you should use here, because there are a lot of different options here you can use. Okay, so when you start here, you will have different audio files exported into one location. And that is going to be the project folder as default, as we set it up earlier on. But if you're not doing it, it will show you a prompt where you're going to choose different location for these audio files to be saved in. Okay, so next thing I want to show you is how to export as zipped loop package. If you do it this way, you will have all of your project files and your audio being zipped into one file. So then you can share it very easily with your friends or with other. Then you can share it with all of your friends and other producers as well. You can just send it to, let's say, a Google Drive or WeTransfer or something like that in just one file. And it's a lot easier to have it zipped like that, because then the receiver will just get one file. He just unzipped it, and he have all of the different files there. In the next video, I will show you a very, very nice online solution to back up your files. So first, let's talk about backup solutions for your computer and what I call local backup. And what I mean by local backup is to have an external hard drive. So as of now, I have all of my sample files stored on an external hard drive. And this is mainly because my laptop's hard drive isn't very huge. I have a 256 gigabyte SSD hard drive on my MacBook Pro here. And if I would store all of the samples and contact libraries that I have, for instance, it wouldn't fit inside of that SSD hard drive. This is number one. And number two is you don't want your projects or your samples being stored on an SSD hard drive. And I will explain why. An SSD hard drive works a bit different than an old 3.5 or 2.5 inch hard drive or a spinning hard drive, because SSD hard drives can fail a lot more if there are a lot of different read and writes off of the hard drive all of the time. So actually a spinning hard drive is better for that. And it's cheaper because you can get a 1 terabyte hard drive for almost nothing nowadays, actually. So that is why I use a spinning hard drive for my project files, for my sample packs. And I've seen a lot of people using external SSD hard drives. And that's mainly because they're getting cheaper now, and they are a lot faster than spinning hard drives. And sure, I mean, if you will be working with video files that are huge in size, then I get it that it may be slow to work off of a spinning hard drive. But audio files in general are a lot smaller in size. So you can still work with a spinning hard drive with audio files because, as I said, the audio files are a lot smaller in size. And then if you're working with a spinning hard drive, you can't really see the difference between an SSD hard drive and a spinning hard drive. The only thing I would put on an SSD external hard drive in this case is like huge files, for instance contact libraries that are very, very big in size. If you're creating them off of a spinning hard drive, you will have to wait until that contact library is loaded up. And sometimes I wait for like 10 minutes to just load up a piano sounding contact library because the libraries are so huge in file size. So that is the only reason why I would use SSD external hard drive for audio production. But otherwise, I will put all of my samples, sample libraries, and all the things audio related on a spinning external hard drive. And spinning external hard drive is the regular 2.5 inch or 3.5 inch hard drives that you can purchase almost everywhere nowadays. So there are different things you can consider here when purchasing a new external hard drive for your backups, for your samples, and all of that stuff. What you can do is to have 2 external hard drives, and I will explain why you should have 2 and not just 1. And this is because If you have one hard drive, you can always play with that hard drive and put samples, put projects, everything. But let's say that that hard drive is failing, you know, or let's say that that hard drive gets stolen, or you lost it somewhere, or something like that. Then you're out of all of your projects, your samples, everything is gone, and that is not good. So what you can have is an external RAID drive. And what that is that it's two hard drives inside of one hard drive case. So now it will copy all of the different data between both of the hard drives. But still, if you have it in one case, then you're like having that case, if you lost it or it gets stolen or something like that, then you're out of them anyway. So before that, I always used two external hard drives, two different ones. And the first being all of the sample libraries being inside of there, the project files, everything like that. Then the second one will be just where I connect my second hard drive to my computer like once a month, for instance, and then I just copy all of the data from the first hard drive to the second hard drive, then I disconnect it, put it somewhere, you know, and then I just do it like that every month. And what happened with that was that I actually forgot to do it sometimes, and that was not good either. So let's say that I created a project 3 weeks in, and then I forgot to make a backup of it, and then let's say that the hard drive will fail, then all of the project file samples would be lost anyway. So what I do nowadays is to have one external hard drive, and then I have an online backup that complements that. And this is very nice because the online backup that I'm going to show you in the next lecture is being taken automatically, and it's been taken all of the time. So if I create this project here and save it, and let's say that my computer gets stolen or lost, you know, or my external hard drive gets stolen and lost, or both of them, then I can still go to another computer and just fire up my online backup and download everything from there, even system files, sample libraries, all of the things that I had on both my internal hard drive and my external hard drive. And even though you're having like 5 terabytes or 10 terabytes or something like crazy huge amounts of disk space with all of the different sample libraries and stuff, it's still taking backup for a very, very cheap price. I will show you that amazing online backup solution in the next lecture. Alright guys, so see you in the next one.